On this week's episode, we have a Retina Remake review.
Yes, we talk about both versions of West Side Story,
as well as other new movies and pop culture news of the week. Alright, do we need a spoiler alert for this?
Well.
I mean, it's an old story.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But the movie is based on Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, and it's a Retina Remake review. So we're talking about two movies. One is super old, one is brand new, but they are basically the same. So yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with the story of West Side Story at this point, it's kind of on you, but we are going to spoil it. What did you think? We just got back from seeing the new one.
I'm from the opinion that, and I was reading something, I think what Chris Columbus said about another movie we saw this week, a reboot, remake, sequel for Home Alone. But I'm of the opinion that, you shouldn't remake movies, but if you want to make a remake, let Spielberg do it. Because if someone can do it, it's him.
That's fair.
Probably his first musical.
Yeah, we were trying to think of some the other day, and I can't think of any other Spielberg musicals.
Yeah.
I mean, let us know in the comments if we're missing something horribly obvious, but I can't think of any that he's done.
But yeah, let's go to the story real quick.
Okay, so as he mentioned, West Side Story. This is a 1957 musical from Leonard Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim, among many others, based on the story of Romeo and Juliet. Only it's set in 1950s New York. And instead of Capulets and Montagues, we have the Sharks and the Jets. The Jets are the American white boy gangsters, and the Sharks are Puerto Rican. There's a lot of tension. They're planning a rumble. But in the midst of all this, there's Tony, who was a Jet, and then Maria, who is the little sister of the leader of the Sharks. And they meet at a dance and they fall in love. But just as their love is growing, so is the angst between the Sharks and the Jets. They meet at a rumble. It goes horribly wrong. Tony ends up killing Bernardo, who is Maria's older brother. And Maria decides that she's just going to leave with Tony. But then Tony is told that Maria's been killed too. And so he runs out on the street and he gets killed. And then it's just tragic and sad. But in the wake of this tragedy, they finally decide to lay down their arms and just get along, because the cost of this hatred is just too great.
I mean,
more or less.
We assume that, right? That's not...
It's implied. At least at the end of the Spielberg one, it's pretty heavily implied.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought. Maybe not totally, but
I think in both is, if it is implied, is very little. I mean, I guess you get that from Romeo and Juliet, that the original, the families, reconcile because of the loss of their children. But it's starting from the end. One thing about the end on this new one is that not really the end, but one thing that is, Spielberg remade this movie and he put a lot of the original, the play in this case, because the movie was the original movie was based on a play. So he put a lot of his own touch on this one. But one thing about this one is time. The way the time is portrayed in this movie is real quick. It's 2 days, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
While in the original movie, it's, I don't know, maybe more, maybe 3 or 4 days.
It does feel like more.
Because they schedule the thing for,
that's right,
I don't know, Saturday, like a couple of days or something like that. And she goes to work, and then she meets him, and she meets him again. And in this one, it's pretty quick. Things happen really quick. So the timing is more clear, is more straightforward. You know exactly, beginning, middle, and end. It takes place in, 2 days. The other thing about this new one is you have Puerto Ricans and you have white Americans, Irish, whatever, Polacks, as they mentioned. But one thing that is more close to reality per se is the fact that the Puerto Ricans speak Spanish, and they speak quite a bit of Spanish.
Without subtitles.
Different than the original one, that they have the accent, thick accents, and they might say muchacho or very gracias. few gracias, very few words while speaking or while singing. On this one, they have whole conversations, and without subtitles. I mean, I speak Portuguese, so I can understand a little bit of Spanish, so I wasn't completely lost. I mean, I don't know if for people that don't speak Spanish or don't understand Spanish at all, how would that be?
I have a background in French, and I'm around Portuguese quite a bit. So I wasn't completely lost. Also, if you're familiar with the story, you can still follow pretty well. And I am really curious about what the thought process was behind leaving out subtitles. It's definitely a deliberate choice. For me personally, it just kind of emphasized like the divide and the differences between the Sharks and the Jets, maybe, or not the Sharks and the Jets, but like the sense of otherness that the Puerto Ricans felt like they don't belong there. They have this different culture and language and everything, but they are American, and I don't know. I feel like it maybe emphasized that a little bit.
Yeah, and it is.
I don't know. I'd really like to hear more about why he made that choice.
And it is a very cultural shock, a cultural battle, and the fact that they speak a different language, and the audience might not understand is because it's to make them. To make the audience feel like, immigrants feel, in that case. Yeah, definitely. Like, they're not accommodating me in the same way that, New York wasn't accommodating them, maybe? Sure. It's definitely more realistic because, having a family from Brazil, when we speak, I speak decent English. I could speak English with anyone. I could speak English to them, but naturally we speak Portuguese when we are among ourselves. We might try to push some members to speak in English to practice, and they do that in the movie as well. But I thought that was a very interesting. Another thing about timing is the movie. Both versions of the movie start at one point, which is the Jets. Being Jets and
walking around and snapping and
doing what's the thing they say in Harry Potter,
mischief.
Doing mischief. Mischievous. And the movie starts at that point and it ends at the same point. It ends with the death of Tony, and I'm glad he didn't try to expand. He didn't try to explain. It ends there, and if they reconcile or they start fighting the next day or not, it's not the point. It ends there. It's final and is open to interpretation or to elaboration or imagination. Which I thought was pretty cool too, because we might feel tempted to go deep into some characters to make some explanations, and he does. He puts a lot of he gives a lot of background to the whole West Side, for instance. In the original there's nothing like that, right?
Mm-mm.
In this one, everybody's gonna be kicked out of the region of those 20 blocks. I think they mentioned that of the West Side, because they're gonna build the Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
So they fighting for land. You know, they fighting for what they call the gangs call territory. They fighting for territory.
Yeah.
But in the end, they all gonna lose territory because there's a bigger gang called authorities. They're gonna take that from them.
Yeah. So all this is taking place in kind of this dystopian scape. Is like these slums are being torn down, and that kind of drives home that all these people, they're like at the bottom, and especially the Jets. They're like the Jets and these like white Americans are claiming some kind of superiority over the Puerto Ricans. They're angry at the Puerto Ricans for coming and taking over. And there's actually a scene at the beginning that shows that as the Jets are like walking around the Puerto Rican neighborhood, they tear down a sign on a bar and it's got a Puerto Rican sign, and then they tear it down and it's underneath it this bar used to be like an Irish pub. So they kind of show how the Puerto Ricans are moving in and like changing some of this neighborhood, and anyway, so it really gives that whole sense of like things are changing and people are scared about it and mad about it and fighting over not a lot, and the man's not doing anything to help, and they're just gonna get all knocked down and obliterated and in order to make way for things like the Lincoln Center for the Arts and nicer apartments and stuff. I can't remember if they did this in the first one, but there's a lot of color coding in Spielberg's version. All the Jets wear very cool colors, like lots of blues, and the Sharks wear more like red and yellow, which it helps a little bit, keeping track of who's who, at the gym, at the dance, and later on at the Rumble. But it becomes especially significant in the very end, because when Maria comes running down the street with her suitcase to meet Tony and to run away with him, she's wearing a blue dress. So like she's made her choice. She's committing to Tony. She's leaving what's behind.
Completely blue, no details on red? Okay.
Yeah, she's wearing all blue. But then at the very end, and I can't remember if they did this in the original, they lift up Tony's body, and at first it's just, all of his Jet brothers, and they lift him up like pallbearers. And then as they start to walk away, some of the Sharks come in and they help like cross his arms respectfully, and they help carry his body away. Which for me,
they do help in the original.
In the original, okay.
Yeah,
for me, that's like the implied, like, maybe not totally reconciling, but like, we're done with this and we recognize this is a mutual tragedy and we're done. Anyway, so there are lots of like nice, really cool visual details that help give more background to what's really a pretty straightforward story. Yeah.
So the movie is around 2 hours, both versions, but the original has an intermission. This one, Spielberg uses every minute of it. On the original, there's a long score, a card for the score that plays the entire score of the piece of the movie before the movie starts. Spielberg gets to the point. He starts and with a flying camera through West Side being destroyed in some parts to be rebuilt or something else. He goes through it with the original score, but he used every single minute of it. What else?
One major difference is the character of Doc. I assume on the stage and in the original film, Doc is a guy. He's the Friar Lawrence character who kind of helps Romeo and Juliet get together. In West Side Story, Doc owns a pharmacy, like a drugstore, and the Jets hang out there. But he also kind of encourages them. He's looking out for Tony. Anyway, in this one, Rita Moreno, who's the original Anita, she is like the widow of Doc. Yeah. And so she's running the store, and so that kind of adds this whole thing that she's Puerto Rican, but she had married him, and so for me that gave like a lot of extra weight to all of her. She has a lot of the same lines that Doc has. She plays kind of the same role. She's looking out for Tony. She lectures these boys about how she's watched them grow up and how they're throwing away their lives and all this. It just added a little more weight thinking of her past as Anita and thinking that she's seen all this before and now she's watching it happen again. Just some stuff that was implied by her playing that role.
And her character also teaches Spanish to Tony.
Yeah.
Which is a very, very real thing on interlinguistics relationships. One will have to learn the language of the other a little bit or more or less, which that happens too. Mm-hmm. And that was a great link to the original, to see that character that the actress grew older and lived her life, learned, changed, and her character as the actress learned, changed, like the actors all like the original character and brought that to this new version. And she sings too. It was I was glad that she sang because, she sings. She sings.
Yeah.
She was one of the only ones that sang on the original, right?
That's right. And they did dub her a little for a couple of the songs, but I think it was America. That I Want to Be in America. She sang. That's her. Yeah. And
that's the other thing. Since you talk about songs, I was really curious about Spielberg doing a musical, a remake musical, remake, and I was thinking, maybe he's not gonna do all the songs, because what was it? Disney did Lion King.
That's right. A lot of their remakes, they leave out Aladdin, songs. Yeah. Jungle Book. So. I was curious if he would use all the songs, and he was faithful to the piece. He used every single song, and different than the original one. There are a lot of the characters, actors were dubbed. In this one, I assume they sang, right? I think so.
Yeah.
At the very least, they did a much better job of matching up. But I think everybody sang, and that was something I was going to mention. Is they're both great adaptations in their own ways, but this is something that Spielberg's takes the cake for. The vocals were just spectacular. And I have to say, Ariana DeBose, who plays Anita in this new one, completely stole the show.
Yeah.
I love
about her and her numbers and every other number. This movie is bigger,
Yes.
When you see America in the original, you have, I don't know, maybe 6 guys and 6 girls.
Yeah, and they're all on a rooftop.
In a rooftop. Yeah. This is across town.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more people.
It's like the neighborhood. At one point, they stop traffic.
Yeah. Same thing with I Feel Pretty. It's a couple girls in the original one. This one is a whole team of girls.
Yeah, all throughout a department store. Yes, it is bigger. But honestly, by the end of this one, I was like, yes, Maria and Tony, it's tragic and it's sad and it's beautiful and it's important. But let's spend some more time with Anita. What's going on with her? What is her past like? Where is she going after this? I thought she was spectacular. Really spectacular. And deservedly, just totally stole the show.
Yeah, no, it was a great year for her. The beginning of the year, she was in Hamilton. The recorded version of Hamilton, the one from Disney.
Either way.
She was in Schmigadoon.
That's right.
Which is yeah. And Spielberg movie. Yeah. But the cast was really good. Was really great. As you mentioned, vocals, the music numbers were very, very well done. It doesn't feel like it's some old musicals to walk in. I was like, I just met a girl named Maria. It's out of the blue.
Yeah.
It's it feels like the timing is really good.
It does. It feels organic.
Yes.
Not and now a song and dance number.
Yeah. Yeah, and the opening sequence where the jets are running and dancing, on the original is I don't know, it's even kind of gay because they're like walking tough, and then when they jump in pirouettes like ballerinas.
There's like some cognitive dissonance. Between
this one they worked at is a little bit better.
It is, and I was really curious about that because like that's part of the movie everybody makes fun of. Right, like, ooh, these like snapping, twirling gangsters. He kept some of that. Like, I felt like he was true to West Side Story's roots, but just like, you know, toned it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not like pirouetting gangsters. Although you can still see the influence of that original choreography.
Oh yeah.
So, well done, Mr. Spielberg. Well done.
But what else?
I thought it was really good. I feel like if you're a fan of
the setting. I thought he was spending the setting in a very creative, very a masterful way. You know, the America, they dance across town. There's the whole going through. You know, she starts washing clothes, hanging clothes at the window, and then goes down and to the market and to the streets, and little kids dancing. That was cool to see. Officer Krupke song is at the police station. The jets are locked.
That's right.
At the station, I thought that was cool. And
which is something you can do with a movie that would be really difficult to do on stage. And so I like to see.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the original movie. It was like Krupke is right in front of docks. There's another song right in front of docks.
Yeah.
It's it's limitation or choices. And in Spielberg's case, he screwed the limitations and he chose to expand.
Which I like to see if you're going to make a film version of a stage play, like take advantage of what you can do with film and have these expansive sets or move scenes from one place to another. You can't really do that on a stage, not in the same way. And so yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
They gave a little more backstory to Tony.
Oh yes.
Right? That Tony had actually part of Tony's whole change of heart happened because he'd actually been in jail for a year because of something he did as a jet.
And that's compared to the original movie. We don't know about the play.
Yeah. Yes, that is something. The original movie had to be tweaked quite a bit from the play to make it like kosher for censors and stuff like that. So I don't know what's in the actual play. But in this one, Tony was in jail because of something he'd done, and that's why he's done with the jets, he's moving on, because he had all this time to reflect. So there's a little different backstory for some characters.
Expanded on that as well. Maria doesn't have parents, nor in New York, different than the original movie. She lives there with Bernardo and Anita. They are roommates. What else? I think
that those are all the notes that I had.
Yeah.
That I had.
No, it was really good. Again, as I said, I can't say that if you want to make if you need to do a remake of a movie, call Spielberg, because that's how you do it, and he
did a great job. I think if you loved that first movie from back in the 60s, you're gonna like this too. If you didn't like that movie back in the 60s, you'll probably like this because he fixed like the awkward stuff, and I don't know, I think he did a good job of just like modernizing it but still keeping this. I don't know, it's just really
I thought he would, I wondered if he would change, or people would pressure him to change, some of the lyrics, for instance.
Sure.
And some of the stuff that I could think, people wouldn't sing this today. He didn't change. Like Officer Krupke, there's it's like, how is it? My father is drunk. My mother.
I don't remember.
My grandma pushes tea. My sister wears a mustache. My brother wears a dress. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I thought
interesting.
that was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought they would. No, it was right there.
Yeah.
Same way. Which it would be like, I don't know, insensitive to the original material. It would be like tough to change the lyric.
Yeah.
To convert, because of social politics. If you he did a terrific job, and I don't think he did anything he shouldn't. And the movie works, and it's an update, it's an upgrade for new generations. Even though it is not that different from the original, so
it's still the same story, but told with just in a more
in a
updated, dare I say, upgraded way.
And beautiful, in a beautiful way that only Spielberg knows how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah, it's like across one of his bucket list musicals. He does everything.
That's right. He's done animation. He's done live action.
He's done animation?
Yeah, Land Before Time. Incredible.
He directed?
Defined a generation.
Directed.
I think so.
No, I think he produced it.
He produced it. Yeah. Either way, he's been involved.
Yeah. He was being involved in Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and several others.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's done it all.
He's the father of those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, West Side Story is available everywhere on streaming, the original one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if it's available everywhere for free. You might have to rent or buy. And the new one, West Side Story by Steven Spielberg, is available on movie theaters nationwide.
Yes. Unless, of course, you're in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait.
Oh, that's right.
Where it's been banned.
It was banned on some Arab world countries because there's a character that is bicentenary. No, it's not.
Non-binary.
Non-binary.
Yeah.
It's the character in the original is a girl. There's like she likes to dress like a boy. She likes to be with the boys. In this one,
her name is, they call her what, Anybody?
Anybody.
Yeah.
In this one, they expanded on that and they brought a non-binary actress. And there's a joke, there's an insult from some of the Jets towards that girl. It's like, oh, you want to be a boy, but you don't have a penis, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so all that the Arab world decided that's no, we can't do that, and the studio says no, we're not gonna cut, and these people's like, oh, you better not cut my movie.
Yeah.
And so the movie is banned out in those countries. Movie theaters for now, maybe in the future.
But everyone else can see it and should see it.
Yeah.
It's well done. Okay, the other new movie we saw this week, total mood shift, is Home Sweet Home Alone, which is the new, I guess you could call it like an anthology.
It's number 6, yeah.
Yeah, in the Home Alone franchise, anthology, whatever. It's the latest installment, and that's on Disney Plus right now.
And there's rumors that they might do others with, different kids.
Yeah.
Like they try on number 3 or number 4.
Yeah.
Number 5?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think I saw 3.
Yeah. I only saw 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, Sweet Home Alone. And what did you think?
It had its own charm to it, and they tried to bring in a lot of the slapstick, and the casting for the kid was perfect. It's that kid who, I can't remember his name, but he was the kid who's the best friend in Jojo. Yeah.
Rabbit.
This really precocious, very intelligent, mature little British boy. So he's the Kevin McAllister role. And so I thought he was great.
He was great. That's true.
Yeah.
But I have serious issues. Keep going. I have serious issues.
Basically, for me, like, long story short, just watch the Kevin McAllister one.
Yeah.
This one tried to be it, and it failed. It's not a story that works now.
And the problem is not trying to remake, because, I mean, unless they had Spielberg, they could do a great remake. But the issue is, they have the main story, which is basically the same, with some changes. They stick to there's no bad guys. Life is all a misunderstanding, Thanos is not a bad guy. He just wants to do good things, Anyways, But so they stick to that. There's also for me the some of the biggest issues is they try to put, because there's no bad guys, they have to give a lot of depth and backstory to the antagonists to explain that they're not bad guys and why they're not bad guys.
But why are they so desperate to get into this kid's house?
They give a lot of details about that. Because of that, they split a big chunk of the movie to do that. So they stick a lot on the movie to the point that point in case about Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin. We went to see West Side Story, and there was a clip from the original Home Alone.
Yes.
He's talking about, what's he talking about? I can't remember the clip. Anyways,
it's just that bit when his little monologue in the mirror.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so everything's going okay, but I gotta get a new toothbrush. I'll do that when I go out.
Yeah.
And he's like putting on deodorant and does the whole like thing.
Point in case, the movie, the original is called Home Alone, is about this kid that is alone. So we, the audience, have a lot of alone time with him.
Yes.
He shines. He has a lot of lines. This poor kid on this new one, he was good. But because there was so much time given to the quote bad guys, he speaks so little. We don't get the intimacy we get with Kevin McAllister, which made the movie great. You know, we are alone with that kid. You know, what if I was that kid? You know,
it's like
the
living
whole
out a
feeling.
fantasy. Because I remember that as a little kid, like, man, he's got it made.
Yeah.
He's got this whole house to himself. And the basement's horrifying, but everything else is awesome. He's having ice cream for dinner.
Yeah.
And watching TV, like,
inappropriate movies.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
He was,
In this one, they tried to cram so much that they stole from the character, they stole from the kid, and it's sad. It's a missed opportunity because they had a good cast.
This kid is good.
It's not Erin.
Ellie Kemper.
Ellie Kemper. She's great. She goes from this nice mom that is dealing with problems in life to become this bad guy like this, and then goes back, which is pretty cool. But
she does the slapstick really well.
Yeah, but to cram all that and giving back, it was like nope, it didn't work. Or the thing that we feel the intimacy in the deafness of the original is the whole mom and son relationship.
Yes.
We feel her suffering when she finds out. And the journey has to go to America to find the kid. So we feel if anything empathy or sympathy for the mom. And feeling the whole feelings and drama development inside that comedy adventure. That was the first one. You got lost in this one. You don't feel anything for the mother. You barely see the mother. And they try to make you feel something for the antagonist. But it's not their movie. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe that was what they wanted.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... And this is probably where remakes are tough. It's... If you do too much like the original, then like what's the point? Just watch the original. But if you're making something new, I don't know. They didn't succeed. Where West Side Story was successful and beautiful and absolutely worth seeing, this one just left me wanting to watch Home Alone.
Yeah, it feels flat.
Yeah, there were some fun like throwbacks. Like we see Bud, we see that like this new kid's home is protected by McAllister Home Security, and we find out that his older brother Buzz is a cop, and that Kevin has started this whole home security system thing. So there were like a couple fun little throwbacks like that. Some of the costuming, the mom's costume at the airport is very similar. There's some fun throwbacks, but like that's not enough to carry it. Just watch Home Alone. It is a classic for a reason.
And Home Alone 1 and 2 were like so big. They had release theater release. Number 3, number 4, number 5, and this one they didn't. So I guess this one continues the legacy that post Home Alone 2. They just make movies that try to do the same but fall flat. Home Sweet Home Alone is available on Disney Plus. If you want to watch But if you don't, Home Alone 1 and 2 are there as well. So
Yeah. So watch those. If you need something new, watch
Yeah.
8-Bit Christmas, which we talked about, last week or the week before. That one was awesome.
and also,
that fills that box, I think.
and I don't wanna kick the dead dog
Horse.
more. A horse.
Beat a dead horse.
Beat the dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I think in Portuguese is kick the sick dog. Anyways,
Either way,
I don't know.
no animals were actually harmed.
But still doing that, this movie doesn't feel like Christmas. And Home Alone is like very, very, very Christmas.
Yeah.
The songs, and I mean, this one has some songs, but it doesn't have the feeling. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Let's go through our news.
Okay, MacGruber had a teaser.
We finally saw the trailer
Yeah.
from MacGruber, and we find out where he was all this time.
Jail.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Uncle Sam, the American government, need him to save the planet again. So
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne goes recruit him.
Oh man, the cast for this is wild. Like Lawrence Fishburne, who's done a lot of different stuff. But Lawrence Fishburne, Will Forte, Kristen Wiig. Sign me
You
up.
saw the original film,
I
right?
haven't actually.
Oh, really?
I remember the MacGruber skits, and
yeah.
that's probably for me like one of the best SNL casts. But I never saw the original film. I'd like to.
Yeah,
But,
we shall see.
Yeah, so funny. So that's coming on Peacock, right?
Peacock is a Peacock original.
Okay. What's going on with Daredevil and the Punisher?
Daredevil. So Kevin Feige confirmed that what's his bucket?
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox is gonna be Daredevil on the MCU.
Or did he? It was like kind of.
Everybody now is just selling that as true.
I know, but
Kevin Feige is the guy that said that the little kid on Iron Man 3 was Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he also said like if we bring Daredevil to the MCU, then Charlie Cox would be our man. Which kind of makes me think of the times when when I tell our 5-year-old like, yes, totally. If a leprechaun walked through the door, you could have marshmallows for breakfast. I promise.
But there's other things to consider. There's like leaks from the new Spider-Man movie that apparently he's meeting a lawyer and apparently is Charlie Cox.
Okay.
That's not confirmed or denied, but you know, it might be he's saying try to do some damage control. You know, like there's a leak, instead of saying yes or no, he said, "Oh no, we definitely would use him." So, yeah, anyways, but around and after that piece of news, what's his name?
John Bernthal? Charlie Cox.
No, the Wilson Fisk, Franco.
Oh, Vincent
D'Onofrio. Yeah, there was Kingpin on the Daredevil show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Said he was like really happy for Charlie Cox for being Daredevil. And he was, really glad that happened. And yeah, who knows? Maybe Fisk will pop on Spider-Man or will pop on Hawkeye, which is soon to say. But another one of Netflix's Marvel's characters, John Bernthal from Punisher, said, "It's like I'm not up to game. I'm not game to do." Funny and giggles Marvel superheroes with the Punisher. If they want to do that, not with me.
Yeah. Good for him, because that's not who the Punisher is.
No, it will never was
at all.
in the books. And even in the movies, even in the bad movies, yeah.
Yeah, that's not...
He's a very deep, hard, traumatized character. Man on a mission of vengeance and, if not justice. In fact, in Portuguese, his character is called the Justiciar. The Justiceiro.
Wow.
The Justice Man. Justicer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very interesting because one's about justice, the other one's about punishment. But, justice requires punishment.
It does,
How about that? Jussie Molière, whatever her name is, was sentenced guilty for 5 of 6 accounts on lying and
disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, And he even tried to blame one of the producers of the show he was, saying that the guy called him fat. Anyways, just...
And that's why he made up charges. Anyway, let's talk about Spider-Man for a minute.
Spider-Man!
Yeah, is coming to Fortnite. So Fortnite Chapter 3 has got all these cool, like, updates and like a new map and new features, including Spider-Man.
Yes, the different couple different skins, different models of the character. Daily Bugle.
Yeah. It's one of the locations, right?
Yeah. And people that already played, I didn't play yet, but people that already played, it's like praising a lot the whole web swinging of the character, which I hope it's done well, and I think it's pretty cool because every other character on Fortnite, they don't do what their characters do. You know, Superman or Wonder Woman, they run around.
Yeah, they don't fly.
If they have Spider-Man swinging, yeah, that's a huge improvement.
It is. It's cool for the character, and it's a big change to the game. This adds a new mechanic, a new mechanic to the game. Apparently, there's also like different weather systems.
Yeah.
Too. Like there's.
And Boba Fett is coming soon. Boba Fett and.
Oh, right on.
Mulan's.
Fennec Shan.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so with Spider-Man, we got a first look at Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Yeah.
It looks great.
There's rumors that could be a trilogy. Not clear. But we saw Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, that will be portrayed by Oscar Isaac like it was on the post-credit scene.
Right on.
And it's exciting because I love the character. I saw the character like when it first came out, and it was very interesting, deep in the future, like a Blade Runner kind of future, you know, like super tall cities, Coruscant kind of.
That's cool.
And we met Peter David, the creator of this character, this version of Spider-Man, back at FanX, and he might be over the moon. He was super excited to see the character on the post-credit scene. Imagine to see the character like leading a movie. I like Oscar Isaac, but the character is called Miguel O'Hara, so he is definitely Latino descendant, you know, even way before Miles Morales, but he doesn't look like Isaac. But again, it's animation.
Yeah, it's animation.
Yeah, he's like kind of white or clear skin and like brownish kind of red hair. Not red, kind of brownish. Yeah, but I mean, animation. Yeah, it can be done. So
they can do whatever they want.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Hayden Steinfeld is back as Gwen.
Yeah.
And Ashik Mahash, whatever his name is Miles Morales.
Mahershala?
No, that's not him. It's a kid. It's
Mahershala.
No.
Oh, the kid who does Miles.
Yeah. Anyways.
I don't remember. Either way, I loved the first one. I'm glad we're getting more in this universe, in this other universe.
Across
the
Spider-Verse. We're gonna see a lot more.
Yeah. Amazon had some problems with their web services this week, and it caused a lot of problems for everybody else.
And it's funny because, you know, Amazon movies and videos are fine, but if you try to watch Netflix and other streaming services, it's all because they are served by they are hosted by Amazon services, Amazon servers, you know.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, there's like, I think there's don't quote me on that, but I think there's only 5 options of servers in the planet. Jeez. I think it's like Google, Amazon, and it's like, that's why stuff like that social network that was said conservative and free. What's it called? Parlor.
Yeah.
It was shut down, and it's because if those 5 companies, you know,
if they're not willing to host
if they decided not to do it, or if they're convinced by, you know, either popular demand or minority powerful people in politics or in the media, they are convinced to don't do it. They don't do it, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can't, because to create servers for that would cause, it would be so expensive that would be, undoable. And, that's there's a danger of technological monopolies out there, because if they decided to silence someone, it's gone.
It's not hard.
And is that for everybody? There's not only small companies or new companies, big companies too, because we all relied on that. It's like our businesses with China. We make so much there that if China decides to, nope, we're not gonna make your phones anymore, we screwed, because
yeah, that would be unfortunate. All right, Apple TV Plus has renewed Invasion for a second season.
Yeah, it looks good. We didn't see the first season yet. We will see. We come to talk about it, but
But a second season is coming, so that's good. And Sylvester Stallone is going to be in a Paramount Plus.
For the first time, it's going to be on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
So, it's a mob drama called Kansas City. Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's happening. Some biopics are coming up. So Steven Spielberg is actually doing a movie based on his childhood. And that's supposed to come out next Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and The Fablesman, I think, is gone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to that. Tom Holland has revealed that he's going to be Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
In an upcoming, which I very much look forward to. It'll be a very different role for him. And we know he can dance. So I hope that is featured heavily.
I mean, it's about Fred Astaire. So.
It is. I don't know. They could go all like, I don't know.
I wonder who they're gonna cast.
They
for,
could be contrarian.
Ginger.
Yeah.
And Gene Kelly. There's
Yeah.
a lot of iconic people back then that has to be involved in this.
I wonder if they're gonna try any prosthetics on his nose or something, or if they're just gonna let it go.
The makeup prosthetic thing is either really well done or sucks. So
it can be so distracting.
Yeah, it's 50-50. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. We shall see. Gal Gadot is still involved in a Cleopatra biopic, but Patty Jenkins won't be directing it. She's producing.
Yeah.
Who do they have to direct? Do you know?
Didn't put it there?
You did.
Kari Skagland.
Do you know anything about her?
No. I know it's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Some cancellations. Peacock is not thrilled with AP Bio.
Well, they got 2 seasons there, right? But enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that makes sense, because it's 4 years in high school, which you don't do it, right? So is it 4 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's either that or he would get a whole new set of students. And okay, so moving on, and he's going back to Philly, to the pub we all love.
To Patty's. Man, I gotta tell you, this new season of It's Always Sunny, this show, it should not be this good. It shouldn't be this good, but it is so good. It's so funny. And every new episode, the title card comes up. I'm like, I'm in. Let's find out what happens. This sounds great. Okay, so that got canceled, and then Cowboy Bebop, which is Netflix live-action anime adaptation, has been canceled as well.
Yeah, we didn't see it. I heard the first episode is frame by frame a copy of the animation.
Interesting.
Which again, when you do exactly the same, some people might like, some people might not.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I still want to see the first season, and
we'll check
talk
it out
about it when we do.
Okay. FX on Hulu. I don't really understand what's happening here.
FX on Hulu remains. This remains doing the same. Sunny is doing next day. Whatever's on FXX or FX one night, on the next night is on Hulu, which I love it, because there's a lot of good stuff on FX.
There is.
And but they just rebranding. It's gonna be It's gonna be what, FX? Did I put it there?
Yeah.
FX produce originals. So that's gonna be instead of FX and Hulu. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they want to sort of not be completely connected to Hulu, like on the name, because in the future they might come up with their own streaming services because everybody's doing it.
Yeah, keep that option open. Okay, last but not least, if you haven't gotten enough of Tiger King, don't worry, a spin-off is coming.
Yeah, and you did talk about that when we reviewed season 2.
That's right.
That there's a lot more to talk about. The guru, the fat big guru.
Oh my gosh.
That recruited virgins to be his sex slaves and tiger trainers. What's his name? Papa?
Doc Antle.
Doc Antle.
Yeah. So he's getting. I guess there was just too much of him to put in season 2, so he's getting his whole own spin-off.
And it's interesting how crazy people end up, training tigers.
Yeah.
Maybe people that do dogs too. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't. It just boggles my mind that any of this is real, and it just keeps getting crazier. And like every episode, it just gets worse.
Cop? Who knows?
I don't know, but I do know he's like a pretty bland Midwestern white guy calling himself a guru.
Yeah.
So there's that. He rides around in LA. Anyway, so if you can't believe it, there is more in this whole Tiger King world coming. The Tiger King universe, if you will.
Yeah. There's like
be excited, be horrified, be a strange mix of both.
And there's still the biopics coming, the fictionalized shows and movies. Yeah. There's a lot more to come.
Why do we need to fictionalize this? I don't think we need the Tigerverse. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I guess it's anything else?
No, that's everything.
I guess that's it for this week. We see you next week when we're going to talk about the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Last of the trilogy. Which someone mentioned something very interesting about this whole Spider-Man, that he's dating a black girl. Mm-hmm. He has an Asian friend. Mm-hmm. They basically doing Miles and fooling everybody.
Huh.
Because Miles,
that's right,
dates a black girl, at least is in love with a black girl, and his best friend is an Asian guy that goes to school with him, so he's always with him and stuff. So yeah, which is like, I guess it's, I mean, if it works, it works, but it kind of kills their version of Miles, if they gonna if they wanted to do a version of Miles, so what they're gonna do, they're gonna have to do Peter.
It's true, because he's already Peter.
Because
and not just like the demographics, but like this Peter is so young. He's in high school.
They mix the characters together. That would not make sense to I mean,
already, it wouldn't be interesting to bring in another.
Already, it doesn't make sense. Already, it doesn't make sense to bring Miles, because Miles comes as a sidekick, as a young character that wants to become Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's more like a protege.
Yeah, he's like Nightwing for Batman. He's a Spider-Wing for Spider-Man, and it would unless they bring all the other Spider-Mans on this new one, and Toby gonna get a Miles somehow, and that would make.
I don't know.
Anyways,
we'll see.
Next week you're gonna see Spider-Man and talk about it. So
yeah.
See you next week. May the Force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.